Keep them applause going. Come on, man. We just started right now. Come on, man. We got the icon with us right now, Heather B.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's keep these applause going, man. When you hear the name Isley, you have to stand up at attention, ladies and gentlemen. Iconic for over 5 decades, 18 million units sold.
Wow.
Way more than that. Several hit songs, 4 top 10 singles. Come on, man. You know you make me want to shout. Come on, man.
Oh,
16 other albums started in top 40. 13 of those albums have been certified gold, platinum, or multi-platinum. Come on, man. They've been added to the Hollywood's Rock Walk. Inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. The Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2020. You saw them on Versus with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you got them right here on Sway in the Morning. Give it up for the one and only Ron Isley. Ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Isley, how you doing this morning? Grand Risings.
How you doing? I'm listening to you.
Hey man, I tried to do that so much. I wanted you to turn around and say, "Well, who he talking about?" Hey, it's an honor, absolute honor, to have your energy on this show, sir. Absolute honor to have you on this show.
I love, talking to you and doing shows like this, man, and thanking the fans and just thinking about my career has been so long, and you got those diehard fans, for 62 years, and it's just amazing.
Oh man, come on!
Wow,
62 years, and I can only man. What's your background, bro? Like, how did it? Was the family? Was everybody performers? The elders in your family, like your parents, the forefathers in your family. Everybody was performers.
Yeah, my father was a performer, and my mother was a teacher. She taught us early. She started my career when I was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just a teacher. We started off doing gospel records, like Clara Ward and the Ward Singers, and country and western, and just about every type of music that there was, and they taught us.
It taught
you.
It taught.
Yeah, they from the beginning they wanted to have a quartet, and she had 4 boys, and we just with that quartet, man, just singing from the beginning until the end. Yeah.
Wow, man, we got Ron Isley here. Your first big hit was "You Know You Make Me Wanna Shout," right?
Sway, you gonna still keep trying to sing it?
I thought Mr. Isley might appreciate that, Mike. In case you need if you need a background vocalist when you perform that song, I'm here for you, sir.
You're right, man. That's a song that's here all, when everybody gets married, the weddings, and, from 1959 all the way up to here. That's when one of the pop songs we have for every night.
You know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my head back and shout. Come on now, don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah.
Come on, man. And that was with Motown. We hear so much. You eventually left Motown, but I love that Motown era, man. We hear so many great stories about the singers and the songwriters, and how Berry Gordy kind of had I'll call it an incubator system, where everybody kind of ran through that system, and the writers appointed different songs and choreography and how you dress. What was that experience like? When you were younger?
First, that song was with RCA Victor.
Okay.
It's way before Motown.
Okay.
We were with Motown in '64. We did This So Hard or Not.
Okay, this old heart of mine. And then was It's Your Thing? That was on T-Neck Records then.
That's correct. That was on our label, yeah.
Okay.
In 69.
Okay.
1969.
Oh man, let's take them back.
Wow.
So that was back then. Were y'all making money yet in the 60s, or were y'all just surviving?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We was making big money.
well, not to get in your pockets, but big money today, means is a different number than maybe back then. How big back then was big money? Like in a year?
Back there, then, if you made $1,000 a night, that was big money.
Big money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
That was when you guys would perform. I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions. HB, jump in whenever.
I love it.
Okay, when you talk about performances, I was talking to the legendary George Daniels from George's Music Room out of Chicago, and we were talking about those times, and I remember seeing shows, like on video or whatever. And it seemed like artists didn't just perform one set a night. Like if you went to the Apollo, you had to perform 3, 4, 5. Like what was the most amount of sets you ever did in a day?
Well, at the Apollo, you did about 5. But maybe you were doing 2 or 3 songs, a show. Because they had so many people on the show, you would do your 2 songs, your hit, or whatever that was, and you were off the stage, and somebody else would come on, and then they let the audience out, and then they have another show. On Saturdays, they would have 5 shows. Yeah.
Can you imagine 5 shows a day? And then I can only imagine, I heard a story once of Smokey Robinson, who said like he would hang backstage sometimes and peel back the curtain when someone else was performing just to read the room and to see who was in the first 5 rows, and his reasoning was if you can't move the first 5 rows, you're definitely not going to move the balcony. And see, right? And is that true? Would you agree with that?
That sounds pretty. Yeah, that sounds right.
Did you guys ever bomb on stage?
Never.
Hey, man.
I love it.
Who did y'all consider? Because now, like first of all, we got Ron Isley here, man. We got to just keep saying that.
My goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
In our day and age, I know you good friends. We're going to play with Snoop and different folks, Swiss Beats, of course, Timberland. That was an amazing verses that you guys did with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Mm-hmm. And just even with that, with the verses that you guys did, what were your conversations like even afterwards? Did you know what you was walking into?
Oh, yeah, we knew what we were walking into, and we were talking about where we were going to eat at and what kind of food what we order and that type of thing with Steve Harvey and, just simple things like that.
Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't talk about going, because when rappers, they usually get on a tour bus and start recording music together. You and Earth Wind, you guys and Earth, Wind and Fire, and you guys and get on the tour bus or decide to go back into the studio.
Oh, I decided to go in the studio and record a record on them,
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. Maybe 2 or 3 days, and we performed on a record that I think is going to be amazing when you hear it.
Okay.
It was something I always wanted to do, and so I got a chance to do that with Philip, and Birdine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We used 1500 as a band that's been on some great records in California, and they won all kind of Grammys and stuff like that. So we were recording our album. So I decided to do a record with them. Yeah.
Okay. Man, Ron Isley here. The new song is Friends and Family featuring Snoop. That's out right now. Let's make him go platinum again.
Wow.
HB, you want to jump in?
Yes, Mr. Isley, thank you so much for calling into the show today. You mentioned having a career that has now extended 6 decades. I mean, just for that alone is amazing. But what comes with that, a lot of times people who started out when you guys started out, they get stuck. But what I find fascinating about the Isley brothers, and with you in particular, is your sense of style. I remember we were all at home sitting around watching you on Versus, and we didn't even recognize you. We was like, well, who's the fly guy sitting there like with the shades on and the coat and the kid? Like, who's that? Ronald. And when you stood up, it was like, oh my gosh, it's between my grandmother and my aunts and myself and my nieces and nephews. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows who you are. What do you contribute that to? Because not many artists who have careers that expand 6 decades has an audience from, their grandmothers to the grandchildren.
Wow, it's a really a blessing. I think it's a blessing from God. But everybody expects so much out of me. I got to be Mr. Biggs. I got to wear these clothes. Be hip all the time. So I love doing that. Yeah.
Ron Isley is here, man. Who was y'all competition? Who did y'all say, okay, we're going to get on this stage and smash these dudes?
Yeah, we tried to smash Jackie Wilson. We did.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure James Brown can tell you the times when we smashed him in Philadelphia. Yeah.
All right, hold up, Ron Isley. They got this expression called cap now. The younger kids say no cap, meaning no lie, man. If you're not telling the truth, they say you capping. You telling me y'all smashed James Brown?
James Brown, man. We did it in a way where they had to shut the show down after we came off the stage. Yeah, in Philadelphia.
What does that mean? How did they shut the show down? What do you mean?
Well, we're doing a record shout, and people got up, and it was shouting and tearing up the theater, and they said they had to close the curtains and and then make the people be calm again, and the people just just doing a hallelujah. Yeah, we were doing it too.
What did James say? What did he say anything to y'all after that?
James said, y'all may get me up here, but you ain't going to get me down south. That's what he said.
Oh.
Man, yeah. You got to love it. And it's different, HB, because back I'm going to go way back at a time when they wouldn't even let the artists, go into hotels. You couldn't stay in hotels because of segregation, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And so what would y'all do? Would y'all sleep on the buses, on the tour buses, in the cars? Like, how would y'all deal with that?
Well, they had certain houses that, that we would go into that it was like before us, certain houses that were like hotels or sleepover places, we would, we'd know about those places on the road, Now that was with us. I don't know what other people would do. I heard other stories, but that's what we would do.
What was it like performing at that time with the social climate of the country, and you're going down south or wherever you're traveling, and you have all these obstacles. You have all of this whites only, blacks only. Was it ever scary, or was it just so normal that you just saw it as a way of life?
It was scary at sometimes. We would go places that they didn't know whether we were white or black, and when we show up, they say, "Oh, I thought this was a white group," and the man would pay us without, "You all can't sing here." you know.
Wow.
And he would pay us our money, and we would turn around and go back, you know,
Wow.
because we performed there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you definitely made sure you got the bag, though. Ron Isley gets his money. The people of the Chitlin Circuit, what can you break down what was the Chitlin Circuit, and how was that instrumental in the success of a lot of, you know, black artists' careers?
You know, we went on the tours with Dick Clark and people like that, and we never got a chance to play those Chitlin Circuit places. You know, all I remember about that is we would play a lot of colleges, and we would go on tours with people like Dick Clark, and basically that was a big thing for us to do once a year, you know. And we would hear about all the things like you know, those other entertainers would talk about, but that was our Chitlin Circus.
Mm-hmm. I see they was getting different money. HB, I get it now. The Isley brothers was getting, okay. I see what you, Ron. You telling me? Yes, Sway. We was on a different level, so we didn't get a chance to do the shit. We hanging out with Dick Clark on American Bandstand. You've been sampled by so many artists from the hip hop community, from Biggie to Jay-Z to Ice Cube to Too Short. I could keep naming and naming and naming. Do you have a standout hip hop track that was sampled the Isley brothers that really stands out to you that you thought was, wow, this is incredible?
Well, we have so many. We have over 900 samples.
Yeah.
We were sampled more than any artist in this business, you know. You know, the track with Biggie Smalls, you know, I like it when you call me Big Pop. That was one of our main. And Footsteps in the Dark with Ice Cube, and you know, just on and on and on. But I think we're the number one sampled group or singer or whatever, and I think we took that away from James Brown.
Mm-hmm. Damn, you still competing with James, huh?
Yeah, you know, our group, we're black or white. It hasn't been a group since 1950, since the 50s to the 2021 in this history of this music business, but us. That been shorted from the 1950s to right now.
Wow. Isley brothers. Come on. Isley brothers. Come on, man. Give them a round of applause. You know what I appreciated? Because at the time, did you get a chance to meet Biggie before he passed?
Yes, yeah. Oh, yes.
What was that like?
Oh, man, it was phenomenal. I went into New York when he was doing a session there, and we were talking about the song In Between the Sheets, man. It was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
What I appreciate is that when samples, well, you know, when hip hop start becoming prominent and folks start using samplers and we start sampling the music, it got a big backlash. It was a lot of folks that closed the doors to clearing samples, and they didn't really respect the culture and what was coming out of it. You guys embraced it. What was your thoughts on it? What was your take on producers out of hip hop who sampled your music, like sample music to create new music? What was your thoughts on that?
Oh, we loved it, man, especially when it was something that they did that we thought was great, like Footsteps in the Dark, you know, watch Ice Cube, you know, do the song and call it Was a Good Day. And he was describing what was happening to him, you know, going to work and going, you know, while he was driving, playing basketball and the whole nine, you know. It was just incredible for us to listen to, you know. The Fight to Power.
With Chuck D and Public Enemy.
Lyrics, Chuck D, man, the lyrics were phenomenal. You know, the Elvis. I didn't never give a damn. Over cracking up, man, cracking up. Yeah,
Yeah. He said,
Biggie, you know, Biggie Small, you know. So I see some girls that I should be having my baby, and you know, you know, he thought that was just so fantastic for them to come up with those type of lyrics on that type of song, and just, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony when they did Crossroads, you know, and they did the video and everything. We thought that was fantastic, man. That was fantastic.
salute to you. And let me tell you something. I think that was wise to do. That was passing it forward. You know what I mean? We are the children of you all. And so,
You're right.
Yeah, and that helped give us the advantages that society wasn't giving us. You know what I mean? It
You're
was
right.
like it's like our parents saying, "Listen, son, here, I've been saving this for you for this day. Go ahead and take it and make something with it." And so you see now, when you fast forward decades later, that you guys are being received with as much reverence today as you were when you first started by generations and generations upon generations, where someone like Ron Isley could go in the studio and connect with the most noted, most popular, biggest brand ever out of hip hop. There's not another rapper more popular than Snoop Dogg ever in the history of rap. You know, and you were able to collaborate with him. How did that happen?
Oh man, me and Snoop go back a long time, but like you said, I think he's one of the best, one of the greatest. You know, we've been friends for I don't know how long. You know, but I'm always checking out my records with him and Rick Ross and some people out. You know, when we need a rapper on there, you know, we say, hey, let me call somebody, you know, and I will call different ones, you know, and they will do anything for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you ever need background vocals, I'm here for you.
You know, Mr. Big.
Okay. Would you ever
So
do
they
it?
they always are there for me. Yeah.
Okay, that's you, Mr.
I just
Big.
sit there to get a laugh from
No,
you.
oh man, you got you, man. I'm smiling cheek to cheek. Would you do a duet album with just a duet album with just you guys and rappers?
You know, the album we got coming out right now is going to come out probably in September.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of surprises in it. But you know, I don't want to tell anything. But I'm gonna call you back after it comes after the release date, and
Okay.
we'll have a whole lot to talk about.
Okay. Well, check this out. Where are you based out of? What state you in?
California
Hey.
and St. Louis.
How about this? When that album come out, we'll fly to California and we could do it in person. We got big studios with Sirius XM and Pandora in LA. We got state of the art studios, man. We could do a performance Q&A. Hey, Heather B and I could turn it to like Don Cornelius and Dick Clark. You know what I mean? We could do, you know, Q&A.
I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna hold you to that when it comes out.
Okay. Hey, we said it right here. We got it.
Yeah, we're gonna do something in California. Yeah.
There it is,
Beautiful.
Ron Isley, man. Hey, before you know, I'm gonna play the song, but I want to, you know, we got a couple folks on the line that would just like to say hi to you. Callers from all over. We got Mike in Atlanta on the line. Big Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how y'all doing? How you
Great,
doing,
bless.
Mr. Isaac, Mr. Big?
How you doing?
I'm
doing fine,
I'm doing real well. I actually had the pleasure of being with you on a terminal train in Atlanta about 3 years ago. But you were in family mode, so you know I didn't want to approach you. But I just wanted to call and kind of give you your flowers, you know, while you was here. Your like they touched on your music spanned across so many generations. And I guess my only question to you would be, who do you listen to, Mr. Isaac? Who inspired you?
Well, I listen to just about everybody, and you know just to keep up with what's going on in the streets at all, just at all times, you know, to make music that's relevant to what's happening now today. My friends would be in the early years would be Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson, Clyde McPhatter. Those were the type of people I listened to back there then. But right now it's all, you know, I'm just keeping up with everybody that's doing something. Rappers, the best rappers, and the best singers, the ones that are successful. You know, I just love the music business so much that it's just a big part of my life.
Wow. Hey, Mike, thanks for your call, man. You're a citizen. You're a citizen.
Morning.
Man, you just named those names like Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson. Let me ask you this, man. I always thought Elvis stole Jackie Wilson's whole shtick, you know, with the movement and then, you know, the world, you know, obviously mainstream America reacted to him. I wasn't there, obviously, but I would watch a lot of footage of Jackie Wilson. I was like, yo, is that where Elvis got that thing from that made him popular? What is your take on that? What was going on back there?
Elvis, he was crazy about Jackie Wilson because Jackie Wilson did a whole lot of great things, but Elvis had his own style. Which was hard. It would have been hard for Jackie Wilson to do his legs and all that type of thing that Elvis was doing. But, you know, Elvis was a great performer, and Jackie Wilson was one of the best performers, too. Mm-hmm. Elvis was Elvis Presley because of him being nice-looking, dressing well, singing crazy. You know, he was show business.
Yeah. Did y'all meet? Did you meet him? Did you have a chance to talk with him?
I never had a chance to talk to him. I never met him personally. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, man. I love that. Man, we definitely got to sit down and talk again. I got a lot of those kind of questions. So if you're willing, man, we'll do it again. But Mr. Ron Isley, it's a pleasure, absolute honor to have you on our airwaves.
Yes.
Wow.
And, yeah, absolute honor, and congratulations on it all. And
yes,
you're inspiring us in so many ways, and then at the same time, man, I feel like we can hang out at the club together.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. I want to thank you guys for all the love you've been giving us, man.
Oh, man.
And, wow, y'all, it's been wonderful to us, man. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate that. I just appreciate that more than anything when we think about this business and what it is and what we're trying to do.
Man, absolutely.